Now that the report's been generated, I would recommend you click on the report itself, hold down your control key, use your mouse wheel to go back or forward and find the right size for your eyesight so that you can see as much real estate as possible. You're going to see the damage summary, and then you're going to start seeing the photos and then the tags beneath them. Some of these tags are going to be in response to labels that have tagged them. Like this one here is the general view label that is creating this tag. Some of them are actually going to be the tags that you dropped in. So for example, this is a close-up view of the damage. That would have been in response to the label that you dragged the photo into. But then this tag here would have been added by you. The cabinetry has been damaged by a roof leak. The garage door has sustained damage from direct impacts from wind-driven debris. And so that's how StoryBook is put together. Let's go ahead and take a look at the methods by which we create these tags and how they're assembled. By the way, this is another Show Us Unassigned Pictures link. These pretty much do the same exact thing. When you're inside the Show Unassigned Pictures area, you're going to be able to delete photos. Once you have deleted a photo, it is permanent. You can import it again, but the risk you run is that you're not going to remember which photo you deleted, and then you're going to go into the folder that contains all of your photos, and you're going to import another 100 or 200 photos and have them all mixed together. And so be very careful when deleting photos, because you may have some serious issues trying to make heads or tails of what you've got in the Show Unassigned Pictures area after you've re-imported. So let's go ahead and delete this one just to show you how that works. And so the only time you're going to be able to delete photos is when you're in the Show Unassigned Pictures area. When you're inside of an actual room like this, there is not a delete photo button. All there is an unassigned image button. So you can unassign this image and put this picture of the fence back into the Show Unassigned Pictures area, and it puts it right down here at the very bottom. And then if you like, you could go about deleting it. Let me also tell you about how the room tree or the preset works. You're not going to be able to drop photos into a primary room, such as living room. You would never be able to drop them in there. Let me show you what happens when you try. You cannot move pictures into a room section. And they're actually considered to be sections. The only place to which you can drag photos are the rooms at the very bottom of the tree. So for example, living room general view would be the bottom of this portion of the tree, so you could drag photos there. But right here, damaged area is not the bottom. The distant view or close-up view is underneath damaged area. So if you tried to drag that into damaged area, it would not work. You must drag it only into distant view or close-up view. So now let's go ahead and go into the client info section. This is the area where you could change the name or address of your client. The Add Front Page Image. This is a very important button because it makes your report look nice. So let's go ahead and say that we're going to add this as your front page image. And so now we go to Add Front Page Image, and it indicates that you have selected that as the front picture for your report. We can go into Reports and Generate Report, and you would see that that picture is now gracing the front of your report. So the next item that we're going to talk about is going to be Rotate Pics. Now you're not going to be able to rotate them while you're in the Show Unassigned Pictures area. You need to be actually inside of a room that contains the final position of the pictures. So let's go ahead and click on a picture and hit the Rotate Pictures button. You can go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now you can do multiple pictures all at once, and you can also reorder them. So if I wanted to move this one to the left and then this one to the right, then you can also do that. Now we're off to the Data Configuration tab, where all the magic is really done. The first area of the Data Configuration tab is the Rooms tab. It contains all the rooms that are for use inside of StoryBook. If you wanted to add a room, here we could put test room and just hit enter, and it's automatically in there. Now we're going to come over here to subrooms, test subroom, and there it's added. Over here in labels, it's a little bit more difficult for a label because there's more to a label. Labels are grouped under categories to make them easier to find. So exterior may have a number of different general views of the elevation. Interior has its close-up view, continuous from damaged area, distant view, floor continuity, general view, etc. Now let's take a look at what makes up a label. Let's go ahead and start with exterior. Right now we're just clicked on the category header. There's really not much to that because it just says exterior under the description and exterior under the title. But let's go ahead and click on one of the actual labels. Now this is general view of backyard. General view of backyard, these photos are not intended to display damages to this area. This is what would actually be printed under the photo. In the summary description, we have left it blank. And the reason we've left it blank is because the damage summary is what our end users would be reading to try and figure out what this claim is about, and it doesn't do them any good to read general view of backyard. These photos are not intended to display the damages to this area. Number one, they're not looking at photos, and number two, it's just a general view and it doesn't tell them anything. So we're going to leave this blank because we do not want this label to print in the damage summary. Leaving this field blank is how we determine what gets printed and what does not get printed in the damage summary as it pertains to labels as well as tags. So let's go ahead and look at some of the ones that might matter. Roof vent damaged by debris. In this case, we did decide that roof vents having been damaged by debris might be important for our readers in the damage summary, so we've elected to go ahead and leave it in there. I don't want to get too in-depth on the labels. I just wanted to give you an idea of kind of how it worked, because we're going to have separate videos on how the labels and tags and presets are all put together. But suffice it to say, the tag lists are largely the same as the labels, with the exception that the tags don't go inside of the preset. So now let's go to the presets tab, and you're going to see here that this is where the presets are built. They do look a little bit complicated. This is a list of all the rooms that could go into the presets. Here are the subrooms. Here are all those labels with the category headers. And it looks kind of complex, but it's actually very, very simple. And we're going to have a separate video that shows you how to copy, delete, and construct from scratch your very own presets. And you're going to be able to do it very, very quickly because you're likely going to end up copying existing presets and then deleting things and then moving existing rooms over into your presets. So you're going to understand that it's going to be very, very simple once you see that short video. This is the tab for the company headers, and this is where you're going to come and you're going to add in the company information for your company, assign a short code to it, a company name. You're going to import an image with your logo, and then you're going to have a very nice looking letterhead in just a few short seconds. The import and export tab, pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You may have a whole lot of work into presets, and you may want to share them with your friends or room lists, or may even export or import projects. And so you can do all that from this tab. The global settings area, it's going to allow you to select a default preset to use when you first start up StoryBook, to select the default company header, the default tag list that you want to be available when you first start up StoryBook, and the default tag list for the damage summary as well. It also allows you to change your password on your online account. It shows you your StoryBook customer ID. And that is pretty much it for how StoryBook works in a nutshell. There is, of course, a lot more to it, and we're going to get to each and every aspect of StoryBook in small, short, bite-sized videos. Thanks.